Here's the question. Should, Peter, Bryce Young be considered a lock to be selected as the first overall pick by the Panthers, who made the move to get that pick from the Bears?
There are no sure things. Okay. There are no sure things. We've been down that road. I think he is the consensus favorite to be the number one pick, and there are significant red flags about his size and his build and his. That's all. And yet, I believe the Panthers are moving straight on forward. And what I've been told by multiple sources outside of the Panthers building, with those people in the know, saying the circle of folks that they're putting around Bryce Young are going to ensure that this offense is built around Bryce Young's strengths and what he can do. Here is NFL experience, combined years as either a quarterback, offensive coordinator, or head coach, the three most important positions for an offense on an org chart, between Frank Reich, the head coach, Jim Caldwell coaching the offense, and Josh McCown specifically coaching the quarterbacks. That's 48 years of high-level experience where they can build this offense and be able to adjust and be malleable. So many times the first overall pick goes to a situation that is crummy, whether it be a defensive head coach who has no clue about quarterbacks, or it's an organization that is flailing and is about to fire their head coach. You now have experience, you have leadership, and I think Bryce Young to Carolina makes a lot of sense. David Tepper moved all the way up to number one, so there would be no questions. As of right now, 96 hours out, where we're at, I think Bryce Young's number one.
If Bryce Young does get selected overall first, okay, let's play that game.
Okay.
Got to put Bryce Young first. We're going to go with the odds right now. Who goes off your board? Who goes off your chart the rest of the round, or the rest of the top 31, 32 picks? Who do you got on your board? You have committed now.
Yes, I've committed. So am I unveiling from bottom to top, or am I just going
I would start with
straight
number
on?
one, because we know it's going to be Bryce. Go.
Okay,
Let's see the order.
Yeah, all right. So we have Bryce. And then after Bryce, I am going a little bit of stock, and I won't say stock because who knows, but I'm going with C.J. Stroud. We talked about his production in college. What he's
Get
been
rid of the
able to
end. Let's get the spelling on this.
Stroud, wow.
Oh, Jay.
It's early. It's early.
It's a sound
Jay
pick.
is so in his head that he wrote Stroud.
I know,
It was a lot of back and forth. But that's why you have Schrager next to you. Right off the bat, he's just like, fix that and get it right.
Ricky said Richardson, so he has to keep the end.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait for Hendon Snooker to come up.
It was a struggle with all the erasing going on. Stroud's going number two. I'm not going to sit there for long. Then at the third, right underneath him, I am going with Richardson. And I believe that we talked about it last week. Schrager said it. Hey, with Richardson, there's so much potential that there's going to be a team that says, you know what? We know he has flaws, but we think we can figure it out. Next, I'm going with Will Levis. Obviously, we saw how well his pro day was. You can go back and forth about 2021, 2022, but obviously the kid can play. And then lastly, obviously, I'm going with Hendon Hooker, 25 years old, coming off the ACL, had a fantastic year for Tennessee, was able to beat Alabama and do some special things. But this right here is my five, rounding out with Hendon Hooker going late in the first round.
Dig it.
I do, too.
I think five quarterbacks go.
Yeah.
I think Hooker is interesting. Peter King had a mock draft today. He had Hooker going before Richardson, which I thought was interesting. I had Hooker going all the way to 11 in my last mock draft. I do think he goes first round because of the 5-year contract you get if you draft a quarterback in the first round. So if he has to redshirt this year, you still get 4 more years of him. If you take him in the second or third round, you only get 3 more years of him. And he's 25 years old. So you want to get as much as you can out of Hendon Hooker. So that's the Hendon Hooker piece. I do think he goes first round. I go Bryce Young, 1. Okay. 2, I go C.J. Stroud. I think there's been a lot made of C.J. Stroud's interviews with teams, his S2 cognition test scores. I think at the end of the day, the production was real, and in big games, he played huge, especially that Georgia college football playoff game. 3,
This is one.
I go Will Levis.
Okay.
I go Will Levis.
Where'd you mock him, Peter?
I had him 4, Will Levis.
The trade.
Yeah, but high.
High. I still think he might end up on the.
No, wait, I thought you had him going to the Texans.
I'm moving that up a little.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 1.0.
Okay.
Oh, 1.0. My bad. My bad.
4. I'm going with Richardson. Okay. I don't know if he could play in the NFL. And everyone's like, he's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the hardest worker we've ever seen in the NFL. He's in the facility all day long. Like, there's a lot. That's a high bar to say he's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And then 5, I go Hooker with an asterisk, redshirt year. But here we go, screen grab. Find me in 5 years when I had Josh Rosen 5 years ago as number 1 on my list. Not ashamed. Young, Stroud, Levis, Richardson, Hooker with an asterisk.
I like the bonus takes. Jalen Hurts is the hardest worker in the NFL. It's incredible. Jerry Rice running hills it's Jalen Hurts.
J.J. Watt, you're lazy.
Oh my God, Peter. Peter's coming with it today. All right, I'm going to use the Jalen Brunson Daily News newspaper. Jalen Brunson, 33rd pick, kind of fell there. High quality here in New York. Bryce Young, number 1.
Yep.
I think someone's swinging out of their shoes, guys.
I hope I'm wrong.
I think Anthony Richardson is going to be the second quarterback taken. I think these guys are too thirsty for the talent. Ceiling. They love it. And then it gets weird. The third quarterback thing is going to be Hendon Hooker, which means the fourth, I think, is going to be C.J. Stroud. I think the plummet is real. I hope it's not. I like C.J. Stroud a lot. We're going to talk about this later in the show. The word, oh, my God, cognition. Not completion. Cognition is apparently the thing that's driving this bus, and I think Will Levis is going to fall. I do, for several different reasons. I think the hype around him is a little bit contrived. There's a lot of people who I respect, multiple people who do this for a living, who don't have a first-round grade on Will Levis and are not afraid to tell you about it. Will Levis, I think there's just
Frame that up. I need that framed right up so we can come visit this back.
I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But this is how I feel. I think NFL talent evaluators are afraid of different. I think Will Levis is different. I don't think we've ever seen a star quarterback in NFL history with his body type. There's eccentricities in his personality. There's a lot of problems with his play last year. That's my list. Have at it. Let's go. I can't wait to see Jamie Erdahl. I did this all with ChatGPT. I didn't even come up with it by myself. You just pump it in and they come up with their draft list. That's it.
But Kyle, you are not afraid of wrong. So the reason why you're afraid of different, you're not afraid of different. So the reason why you hope you're wrong is because I think you want Will Levis to go higher.
I do.
Because you like different.
Yes, absolutely. If it was up to me, Anthony Richardson would be the number 1 pick, and then Bryce Young, and then Levis, and then the other 2 would just figure it out. But I like the different guys.
There you go. I like the verbal commitment there.
Sure.
So we're all putting our faces next to this, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Roll Tide. Go number 1. Bryce Young off the board. I do, too, have Anthony Richardson going to.
Wow.
More
nice.
of it is because what I think the teams are going to jockey for in terms of draft day trades. I think there is going to be a team that thinks so highly and commits so much to Anthony Richardson, they're going to get up and get him.
I like that, Jimmy.
Then I think C.J. Stroud is going to be the guy that's there, and I think he's going to be a commendable quarterback in the NFL, and I think his consistency probably beats out than Anthony Richardson, but there's just something really spicy about that guy that I have next to number 2. Then I have Levis going, and then here's my trickery I have here at 5. I have to shift my paper ever so committed. I have H2 sitting here. Some people might interpret that as Hendon Hooker. You can.
You're about to change it?
Or you could consider Jake Haener as well. I just cannot commit. I can't go here or I can't go here. Jake Haener is a very interesting quarterback out of Fresno State. His cognition scores have also been really great. He's played a long time, a lot of football at Fresno State. Great coaches there. I can't H2. I'm just going H2 at the number 5 spot.
Great. So, you see any running threads, Peter, between all of them?
The Richardson trade-up is interesting. So
I think that's great.
I think 3 becomes a really interesting part of this draft with the Arizona Cardinals. They've pretty much put on a billboard that the pick is up for sale if someone wants it. Let's assume 1 is quarterback, 2 we don't know, 3. Are you trading up for C.J. Stroud?
That's what I think.
Or are you trading up for Anthony Richardson? 4, and we'll go through it over the next few days. I've heard, honestly, from good sources who know that Indianapolis building inside and out, there are huge fans of Stroud in that building. There are huge fans of Levis. That wasn't a false report I put out last week. There are big Levis fans there. And then there's also a huge contingent of people in that building who are Richardson folks. 4 is fascinating to me. So who's trading up to 3 to ensure they get their guy? And maybe Jamie, maybe it's Anthony Richardson, or maybe it's C.J. Stroud.
That's what's interesting to me, because there's been so much for so long of Young and Stroud. I feel like there could be a team in the back end of the first round where next thing you know, Houston goes defense with Tyree Wilson or with Will Anderson. And next thing you know, there's a team sitting there and they're just like, wow, at 3, now we can actually jump up and get C.J. Stroud, which maybe we didn't anticipate a few weeks ago. So now we maybe make those trades to get up to 3 and get a guy like
I have this feeling Houston's going to go defense twice. Like at both picks.
They might.
And just be all in for D'Amico and say, we're building a defense, and then we'll get a quarterback.
Which would be
the Niners
fun.
did for years.
I feel they make
the Niners
twice.
went Armstead, Buckner, Bosa. They had the big kid. They had another one who's not worked out as well, Javon Kinlaw. They just went defensive line, and they're in the NFC Championship game every year.